Okay. uh, if you will be into manual testing, let us assume, okay, you will be into manual testing, which are the different roles you will be performing? What are the different roles you'll be performing? Yes. Then that's it, only regression testing. uh, as soon as you get assigned any of the project, what is your first day of your job? Your project manager get introduced whole, yeah, right, okay. So get introduced whole of your team members, then who is and brief a little bit very high level brief about that application. Then they will be assigning some training sessions for you, okay. So then the then they will be assigning work slowly to you, okay. So initially they will share some documents like related to SRS or FRS, okay. So functional requirement specification or software requirement specification they will share you. You will be going through those requirements. Okay, you will try to analyze those requirements and coming up with creating test cases. So who all are the team members are there? All those team members get assigned some modules. So what are the modules got assigned for you? You will be analyzing the requirements and coming up with creating test cases. Remember, these days for most of the price, I can say like 95% of the applications already uh, tries were developed, right? So I mean to say like you may not get a chance to create test cases until and unless it is a newly startup project, okay. So there are chances to get a chance like create test cases for you like it's just 5%, okay. Just for awareness purpose I'm saying, okay. So creating test cases, once you create test cases you have to make sure, right? So you have to make sure to cover whether you cover test cases for all modules or not. So that is for that reason you will be coming up with like traceability matrix. Okay, so traceability matrix you will be coming up with. Traceability matrix is nothing but like mapping between test cases to your requirements is nothing but like traceability matrix. For that one no experience required, just anybody can come up with, okay. So creating test cases, executing test cases, okay. Along with this one you are doing regression testing, okay. So if you find any mismatches, what you have to do at that point of time, you have to report those issues to developers, right? That means like bug reporting and tracking. So these all are the major resources. But executing the test cases again and again, what is the technical term we use in manual testing? So regression testing, okay, manual retesting are, okay. So these all are the different roles you will be performing under manual testing, okay. These are the different roles you'll be performing. So this is nothing but like manual testing. So what are the test cases you are having? Manual testing you have to define means if you execute test cases with the help of human beings, with the help of human beings, so that is nothing but like manual testing, okay. So that is nothing but like manual testing. If you use some tool, if you use some automation tool for executing those test cases, so that one you can consider as automation tool, automation testing, okay. So then we can go for like disadvantages of manual testing. Okay, so normally if you will be into manual testing, what is the process? there are two types of releases, like major release and minor release. Okay, so like SIT or MIT also you can consider. So what are the naming conventions they are using, like that you can consider. So major release means every 3 months, minor release means every 1 month. Okay, every 1 month. So as soon as you get released, let us suppose you are having 10,000 test cases. 20 guys were working for that project. These 10,000 test cases, they will get divided equally. That means per head how many test cases you come across? 500 test cases. So what are the test cases got assigned for you? Those test cases you have to execute against latest release every time. Okay. So for you it's 500 test cases got executed. So you are here in this project for 3 years, let us assume. So per year, how many times you do the same set of test cases again and again? So 12 major releases and 12 minor releases, 4 major releases. That means 16. Again, some releases you could have come across situation like major bugs. They could have made sub release. Even that time you have to re-execute again those test cases, right? That means here my point is like you could have got a chance to execute same set of test cases again and again so many times. So we are human beings. Whenever we are doing same stuff again and again, we may lose we may lose interest. Okay, we may lose concentration and do commonly mistakes. Okay. Meanwhile, we may come across situation like working too much time. Okay, so at that point of time, we may commonly produce erroneous results. Okay, erroneous results we may produce. So if you will be into manual testing, how much time it will take for executing per day? I mean to say, like per day, how many test cases you can execute? 4 or 5, right? So if that is the case, means 10,000 test cases you have to execute, means how much time it will take? See, you may think like why this is, it's not like exactly 4 and 5. It depends is the best answer. If it is simple test cases like successful composing an email or a successful line, that kind of test case means you can execute even 20 also. Meanwhile, you are working for a specific project, means you may be facing so many issues. So you have to resolve one side those issues, another side you have to execute. That means it will be like too much time consuming. That's why it will be like too much time consuming. So usually more number of resources required, right? So more number of resources required. uh, Specific object properties. What is object? Any real world instance you can consider as like one object, like username, password, sign. Okay, so for a specific object properties you have to test, like what is the exact size, font type, font size, color, and this kind of stuff you have to test, means with the help of exact brightness, exact intensity you have to test, means it's may not possible, it's not possible, okay, to your eyes. Okay, so very difficult to test images or bitmaps. Meanwhile, like performance testing, load testing, stress testing. Okay, meanwhile like volume testing. Okay, so these all are the disadvantages of your manual testing. Okay, so performance testing, load testing, stress testing is very easy. Volume testing also is very difficult to perform with the help of human beings. To overcome drawbacks of manual testing, automation comes into picture. Okay, to overcome drawbacks of manual testing, automation comes into picture. So the first advantage of automation testing is nothing but like unattended execution. Before going to unattended execution, what do you mean by attended execution? So attended execution is nothing but like in front of the computer you will be sitting, you will be getting test cases, and you will be executing with the help of human beings in front of you. Okay, you will be executing, that means so you will be performing manual steps. you'll be testing the application manual. Okay, so that is nothing but like attended execution. Okay, so that is nothing but like attended execution. But what is unattended execution? Normally unattended execution is nothing but like once you come up with framework in your QTP, you don't touch anything, automatically it will get initialized whenever new latest application, new latest build comes up. Okay, before that, how frequently you will get releases? Major release and minor release we were discussing. But if you go for like products, okay, so products normally they don't follow like releases. So whenever they plan like they'll plan it up and they'll come up with like releases. Okay, they don't follow any standards. This is internal to company, right? So they don't follow. At that point of time, developers, how they will follow is like they will be using some server for storing their data. Okay, for storing their code, their latest build, they'll be using some servers. Okay, so daily they will make some changes in their code. So whatever the changes they made, it will be each and everything like automated scripts. Automated scripts will be there, so it will make it as a build automatically every day. Like they will set up this automated scripts execution like daily, evening, like night, like at 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. Okay, so whatever the code changes they made today, with that one, that script automatically make it as a setup file and store. Like today is the 22nd May, right? 22nd May, SIT, like that. It will create one folder, there it will store that setup file. Okay, so like that they will try to follow. So what are daily it will be happening like that. Okay, so how many environments are there? For each and every environment it will be happening like that. So SIT, MIT, okay, or production environment, development, like that. How many environments are there? For each and every environment they'll be creating setup file like this and storing in different file with that day's folder. As soon as your automation framework sees these folders, it will automatically gets initialize your automation execution. So once you get application release, what you have to do? You have to install your application, right? Your automation framework automatically installs whole application. Once installation done, necessary configurations needs to be done, right? So necessary configurations your automation framework does. Then you have to go for like a tester acceptance testing or build acceptance testing. So that is nothing but like smoke testing or sanity testing. Okay, so that is nothing but like smoke testing and sanity testing. So smoke testing and sanity testing is nothing but like executing smoke test case, sanity test cases, right? So your automation framework executes. Before that, whole your automation framework you can manage in quality center itself. So in quality center front, you can one test lab for you come across. At the time I will explain you. So there you will be coming up with like what do you say, test sets. Okay, test set is nothing but like set of test cases. So all sanity test cases you will get one test set and there you will execute. All sanity test cases you will get one test set and there you will execute. Our regression test cases, sub Windows XP environment, let us suppose. So Windows XP regression test, like that one test set it will create and it will be executing all the test cases related to that one. Okay, like that your automation framework automatically creates or required test sets in your quality center test lab and it will be yarding. Once you get test set, you have to yard test cases, right? It will be yarding test cases. So this is some process in QC. I will explain you don't worry. Just as of now you can remember like test set like that. Okay, so once test set create, it will link test cases. Then automatically fires execution. So once execution done, it will be sending out an emails to your email mailbox, like how many test cases got executed, how many test cases got passed, how many test cases got failed, like that. Summary and in detail kind of reports, it will be sending it to your mailbox. What is summary and what is in detail? Summary is nothing but like test case 1, whether it's pass or fail, test case 2 pass, test case 3 pass, test case 4 pass, like that. How many test cases were there in your automation regression sheet, all those test cases name and result. So that is nothing but like summary kind of report. Then in detail kind of report. So in detail kind of report is nothing but like for each and every test case, event by event logs you have to generate. You have to come up with functions. That one we will be seeing in our automation framework development. So as of now, you can remember like logs I could have explained sometime back, right? Logs. Okay, exactly that kind of stuff you will be coming up with while executing your automated test scripts. Those logs are nothing but like I will tell you like Gmail application login letters also. So how you can come up with like navigate gmail.com is successful, enter correct username successful, password enter successfully as expected, click on send in button successfully as expected, home page navigator successfully as expected. Like that you will be logging event by event reports in your in detail kind of report for each and every test case. So test case 1.xls, test case 2.xls, test case 3.xls, 1000 test cases are in this, 1000 test cases .xls, like that you will be creating, and there it will be getting logs. Okay, so like this it will generate your automation framework generate report and consolidate, send it to your mailbox. So how many team working for that project, whole team members, it will automatically send out an email. So this is nothing but like your unattended execution. Okay, you don't touch anything. As a automation engineer, what you will do is you will be creating automated test scripts and maintaining. Just that is what you will be doing if you are coming up with like a really good framework means. Okay, so each and everything is automated. Okay, so this kind of setup you have to come up means, so you don't use normally machines, computers like desktops or laptops. What they will do is you might be here like ESX servers. Computers, what they will do is they will try to purchase these servers like ESX server. These servers you can call it the ESX servers. That server cost will be in crores. Okay, so they will purchase one server. They can make multiple computers using these servers. Okay, so in one server they can make multiple computers. So they can make multiple computers and they can create multiple images like XP, Vista, 7 or something, like whatever the environments you want. Even how many computers, how many XP computers you want, like that they can create your automation framework setup like that there in those virtual machines. So 4 or 5 machines they will dedicate for only automation execution. So daily they'll be executing your automated framework related test script and sending out an email to your mailbox. Okay, so this is nothing but like your unattended execution. So one good framework means this is the way you can come up with. Okay, so this is the real meaning of like unattended execution. Okay, so this is nothing but like unattended execution. Hello Praveen. Hello. Hello. Are you able to hear me, Praveen? Hello. Okay, just carry on. Okay. Okay. I'm muting from here. Anybody having any questions you're coming up means you just unmute and ask me. Okay. You just message me, I will unmute and we can discuss. Okay. So this is nothing but like a real meaning of like unattended execution. So as of now, you can remember unattended execution. These days, most of the projects, most of the frameworks they are implementing in such a manner. But this one is for most of our projects, not for products. Sorry, products, not for projects. Okay, you may be aware of like what is the difference between project and product. Okay, so this kind of frameworks these days people were coming up with, will be implementing. At that time, you'll get a very clear picture. So as of now, unattended execution, you will be coming up with products. How and why later you will get to know. As of now, you can remember just. Then night execution or batch execution, this is for projects. So the main purpose of automation is like you have to execute your test scripts in batch mode. Okay, so which all are the test cases you were developed? So all those test cases you have to execute means like uh, while going home, one master driver will be there. Master driver will be there in your framework. While going home, on night execution.xls, one Excel file will be there. And master driver. So which all are the test cases you have to execute? So like how it looks like is like I will show you. Just you'll get some idea. So okay, so like this we can come up with a framework. So results. Okay, see here I'm talking about like summary and in detail kind of reports, right? So summary. Okay, summary here you see. So summary how it looks like. So like this test case id and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 like this. Okay, so like this test script name, status while executing whether it got passed or failed. Okay, so that is a status, what time it was started, what time it was ended, meanwhile how much time it has taken for executing the test case. Normally that one also you can add one more column. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 like this. So specific test case got failed. How exactly you will find out? We click on that link. So this is nothing but like in detail test case, like set username, set password successful. So click on sign in button successful like this. This is nothing but like in detail kind of one you will be coming up with. Okay, remember this summary and in detail you can come up in so many ways. So those are nothing but like throw flat files, means like XML files, XLS files, or text files, or INI files, or HTML files. Okay, so here I come up with like HTML file. Okay, so HTML, but mostly you are using QTP, means how you will come up is through XLS files only mostly. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff. So test case 1, if you go test case 1.xls, if you are using XLS, so this is the kind of stuff you will be coming up with. So QTP doesn't do anything, it's just to provide you some UI. Okay, so framework means you may think like that is some tool. Absolutely it's wrong. Nothing will be there. Each and everything you have to come up with. Okay, so like this in detail kind of report you have to come up with. Okay, so this one will be showing just for awareness purpose and telling like okay, you are implementing very good framework means so like this kind of folder structure will be coming up with. Okay, then here master driver will be there, just master driver one folder. Okay, so here you are getting like test night execution .xls. Okay, one Excel file you are seeing. So here which all are the test cases you want to execute, all those one you will put here test case id and execution flag. If you want to execute the test case you will give yes, you don't want to execute you will give no. Okay, so which all are the test cases want to execute, Okay, all those test cases you'll give yes, right? So it will try to execute those test cases and give you the comments as well. Okay, and give you comments as well. Okay, so this is how you can come up with. Okay, and for your framework you may, and master driver will be there. So this one drives whole of your automation framework. While going home, what you will do is you just double click on this driver. You just double click on this driver. Tomorrow morning you'll come and you'll be able to see results like how many test cases got executed, how many test cases got passed, how many test cases got failed. Like I said, right, summary and indicator kind of reports in your test results folder. Summary and indicator kind of reports like this. Okay. Okay, so you have to execute your automation scripts in multiple environments. So that one, how you can handle is like environment.xml you can come up with. So .xml here, which environment you have to execute. Like for one application is there, means there may be so many environments like production environment, SIT, MIT, development, like that. Okay, so all the which environment you have to execute, that one you can control with the help of environment. And meanwhile you may get a chance to pass data, right? So test cases will be looking like this one you have to automate, means you have to come up with automation. I will explain you later. So then test data, you have to pass test data to your framework, right? So how you can pass test data to your framework? So like this, how many test cases you are coming up with, how many test cases, and which all are the fields. If you take like login, URL, username and password, you have to pass it up. If you take like composement, so which are the different fields you have to pass? To CC, BCC, subject, body, like that. Okay, but you have to read data from XLS. You have to read data. Normally for passing data there is no restriction, like you have to pass through XLS only. So you can pass through XML, you can pass through HTML also. Okay, INFL, text file or something like that. But you have to read data from XLS, right? So how you have to read? Again you have to come up with VB script functions. Okay, so those functions you will try to put in functional libraries folder. Okay, function libraries folder. So this is another one like function library. Okay, so you have to read data from XLS. Meanwhile here HTML kind of summary reports and detail kind of reports you have to come up, right? So all those functions I come up here. Okay, you have to read data from XLS, right? So for that one I come up with like just a second. Okay, so I come up with like one function here. We see like function read from Excel. Okay, so for that one you are passing two parameters. So this is the function I come up with. Like that you have to create logs, right? In detail kind of report log and summary kind of logs. For that one you can come up with like Excel or HTML or text file or INFL. Okay, so for each and everything I come up with some function. This is the file for XLS file, and you have to come up with like HTML format. So this is nothing but like HTML. Okay, no, this is for text format. Okay, text files in the form of text file you have to come up with. Okay, so these are the functions I come up with. Exactly in the form of HTML you have to come up with. Okay, so HTML here I come up with. Now somewhere I put, okay, somewhere not here, somewhere I put it. Okay, so this is the way you can come up with. Okay, so this is a little bit brief about like why we come up with this one. Okay, so batch execution. So while going home, what you will do is you just master driver will be there. Under master driver you'll just double click. Before double clicking, what you will do? Night execution.xls. Here which all are the test case you have to execute, which test cases, and that one you will give like flags also. If you want to execute Y, if you don't want to execute Y. So you double click on this master driver and go home. Tomorrow morning you will come and you will be able to see report kind of stuff, like how many test cases got executed, how many test cases got passed, how many test cases got failed. Okay, so that is nothing but like night execution or unattended execution. Okay, so automation execution is as usual is fast, right? Fast, reliable. As it is mentioned, how many times you execute is performing that operation means it will give you like 100% accurate results. Okay, repeatable. Okay, so once you come up with your automation test script for a specific test, for a specific number of test cases, how many times you want, those many times, in how many releases you want, you can re-execute. That means it's really reusability kind of stuff, right? So that is nothing but like repeatable or reusable. Okay, so I will tell you like in automation how exactly you will come up with like a reusability by telling one example. Sorry, let us assume your application is having like 10,000 test cases. Let us suppose you are working for Gmail application, so for that one 10,000 test cases you are having. You have like it's not possible to automate 100% of the test cases, like 10,000 test cases is not possible. Why means automation development is not that much easy. Okay, so it will be like too much time consuming one side. Another side, why, you'll get to know later why it is that much difficulty. So another side, any of the application if you take, does any application having stable requirements? No, right? Most of the applications if you go for like those are dynamic features they were having. So let us suppose some applications, some test cases you are automated. By the time you got change request from client, again what you have to do, again you have to report your efforts for updating the existing test scripts. So here you are putting your efforts for developing new test scripts and updating the existing test scripts. Then where you are exactly utilizing your test scripts for executing the in the application. So that's why it's not advisable to go for like 100% automation, 100% application. Okay, you will get to know later in detail. As of now you can remember whatever I'm saying. Okay, so what you will do is you will pick up few test cases to go for automation, like stable functionality related test cases, and as soon as you get build, you will go for regression testing, right? So whatever the bug fixed areas they were fixed, so those modules you'll pick up and to go for automation. But some modules you have to execute what are the bugs they fixed. You don't want to consider like what are the areas they fixed, but some functionalities, some modules you should get execute in each and every release. Those kind of test cases you'll take to pick up and go for automation. Okay, so let us suppose you were got like 1,000 test cases to go for automation. So later you will get to know like which factors you will consider and each and everything, on which basis you will pick up. Okay, I said like 100% of the automation also you can automate, but that is for products. If your application is having like stable functionality, if you are 100% of the application, then you can automate 100% of the application. Okay, so you will get to know details step by step. As of now you were picked up 1,000 test cases to go for automation, let us assume. Okay, so those 1,000 test cases, how you want to come up with automation means first successful login, then compose mail, then inbox, then outbox, then logout, like that you will be coming up with. Okay, so batch execution you have to put means all these test scripts you will call in such a manner like one by one. Like first you will call like login, Gmail login, then remaining 999 test case like verify successful compose mail, inbox, outbox, send mail, logout related, you're calling. Here my point is like remaining 999 test cases depends on login, right? So during starting days, this kind of automation framework they will be coming up with. Okay, so each and every test script they will automate and dependency will be there, like that they'll be coming up with. Okay, so here login is one test case, one test skill, remaining 999 test cases related to compose mail, inbox, outbox, sent mail. Okay, as I said, like while going home you just double click on the master driver, you go home. Okay, so first it will get execute login, then one by one it will be executed. Okay, so due to some reason login test case got failed at that point of time, let us assume. Yes, remaining 999 test cases depends on login. Okay, all those test cases get failed, right? Won't get executed, right? So if this is the case, really is it meeting your automation expectations? You're using automation means you should be having some objectives and goals. You should be having some expectations. So this kind of situations may happen. So if you come up with like a dependability kind of stuff, okay, so if this is the case, is it really meeting your automation expectation? No. So how to avoid this kind of situation? So to avoid this kind of situation, what you have to do is you have to come up with each and every test case independent. Okay, you have to maintain your automation framework in such a manner like independent. Due to some reason one test case got failed, at least another test cases gets failed, execute and pass, right? So that's the reason you have to come up with framework means you'll come up with this kind of framework like independence. Okay, so independence you have to come up means like successful compose mail. Even though it is not asking like login and log out, still you have to log in, then verify compose mail, then log out. Login, verify inbox and log out. Login, successful send mail and log out. Like that 1000 test cases you have to make it independence means you have to log in and log out. Okay, so this is the kind of framework you will be coming up with, like independent framework you have to come. Okay, each and every test case you should like make it independent. If you come up with like this, if any of the test case got failed by chance, it doesn't affect other test cases. Okay. Okay, so now my point is like 1000 times you have to record login. As of now you are coming up with like login, and login how many steps you come up with? So navigate gmail.com, enter correct username, enter correct password, click on sign in button, navigate home page. Okay, so these are the 5 steps you come up with for login. Exactly for logout, 4 or 5 steps you come up with. Okay, you click on sign out button, you verify whether it's closed or not, is sign out that application or not, then you have to close browser. So login you are coming up with 5 steps. So you are independently managing as of now, let us assume. So you are recorded 1000 times in your test scripts in 1000 for 1000 test cases. Tomorrow after few days, and one more thing, as of now you are having login screen like this, like username, password, sign in button. Okay, so accordingly you come up with your automation framework. After a few days you got change request from client, like instead of sign in button they want OK button, let us assume. If this is the situation, what you have to do? You have to go to 1000 scripts and you have to update, right? Okay, so again you have to rescript for login functionality in 1000 scripts. So how much time it will take? How much time it will take? It will take again 3 weeks or 4 weeks of time. If you come up with like this kind of framework, right? So to avoid this kind of situation, or instead of following this approach, what you could have done is like you can come up with one function for login. That function you can insert in 1000 scripts. Okay, so what are the repeat? Normally this concept you come up like any of the programming language. This is very basic concept. So if you are not aware of, I will explain you once again once we come up with like programming we start up with, at the time I will explain you. As of now, what you can do is like, for this kind of repeatable steps kind of stuff, what you will be doing is like, you'll be coming up with one function. That function you can use in 1000 skips. Okay, so tomorrow any change request comes up, what you will do, you'll go to that function, you can update the code within fraction of minutes. It will get reflected to your 1000 skips. It will get reflected to your 1000 skips, right? So that is the advantage of like reusability or repeatable. Okay, so reusability you may be aware of, but in automation front, how exactly it will be helpful? How exactly it will be helpful? Okay, so you come up with one function for login, and you can reuse that function in 1000 skips. Tomorrow any change request comes up, you'll go and update that function according to new change request. It will get reflect automatically to all of your 1000 skips. So this is nothing but like reusability. Okay, so that kind of framework you can come up with. So this is nothing but like real meaning how you can get a chance to use in your automation framework. Okay, programmable. If you take movie, what they will do, small incidents they will shoot first, then they will try to add graphics, or they will try to add music, they will try to add effects, right? Exactly. If you go for like any of the automation tool, most of the automation tools I'm saying, remember most of the tools, okay, they were come up with like a record and playback feature. Why I'm saying most of the tools is like, some tools they doesn't have record and playback option, record option. Okay, each and everything you have to come up with a script, but most of the tools they come up with like recording. What is recording? So you want to record a song, what you will do, you will get recorder, you will click on record button, then you'll sing a song, then stop once you are finished with your song. Okay, so this is nothing but like recording, right? Exactly. What are the manual test cases you are having? You'll get manual test cases in any of the tool like Qt or Silk test or whatever the tool you take. In any of the tool, record button will be there, so you'll click on record button. So which are the manual, the test case is saying like which are the manual steps it's asking you to perform. Those manual steps you'll manually perform. So which are the steps you are performing manually in your application? Each and every operation gets recorded in your tool. That is nothing but like recording. Okay, so then once your test case steps done, manual test case steps done, then you stop recording button, stop button. Okay, so that means in between record and stop operations, what are the manual operations you perform, each and every operation gets record in your automation tool. See, remember one thing here, I'm trying to tell you the concept and process and approach, but recording option these days nobody is following. Okay, recording feature nobody is following. Okay, so each and everybody coming up with like keyword demo framework, like scripting kind of stuff. Okay, you'll get to know each and everything later. So as of now you can remember this is the stuff. Okay, so basically as of now I say like recording, but you don't implement in real time. Okay, so how you will implement I will tell you later. So basic operations you can record. The recorded script may not meet your 100% automation expectations. Okay, so like yeah, they usually say like your automation execution come up with okay, you'll be having one master driver. So master driver you double click, automation scripts, which are the scripts you put for like net execution.xls, there which are the scripts you put for flag, yes, okay, it will get execute. So then it will be executing all the test cases and it will be generating like summary kind of report and in detail kind of report. Remember, QTP doesn't have features like unattended execution kind of stuff like master driver or creating a summary kind of report or in detail kind of report, meanwhile like sending out an email. QTP doesn't have all these features, but how you are coming up with that feature? You are coming up with those kind of features. As you are aware of, like QTP supports VB scripting, right? So with the help of VB scripting, you are customizing your automation framework. QTP doesn't do anything. Each and everything you have to come up with. Okay. So why I come up with? So yeah, like that. So that means like the recorded script may not meet your 100% automation expectations. So what we will do? The recorded script you will come up with like enhancing with the help of programmable. Okay, you will try to use your programmatic techniques for coming up with like good framework. So as of now you can remember like master driver or summary kind of report or in detail kind of report. This one QTP don't have built-in features, so you have to come up with. So that is nothing but like programmable, right? So each and everything you will be coming up with programming. Okay, so this is nothing but like programmable. Okay. Okay, then manageable. So sorry, manageable is nothing but like Gmail application. If you take, which are the different features you come across? Login, compose mail, inbox, outbox, send mail, logout. Exactly, read email if you take. So which are the features you come across? Almost all features you get same features, right? So, exactly, Yahoo Mail if you take, same features you come up with, like inbox, outbox, send mail, compose mail, login. Hotmail, in something like that. Which are the mails applications you are having? Almost all the tools having same features, similar kind of features. So here my point is like all these applications having similar features, but you may come up with a different frameworks, right? Even though all these applications having similar features, why you want to come up with different frameworks? Why don't you come up with one framework that can handle all of these 5 applications? Okay, so if you come up with one framework for handling multiple projects, those kinds of framework you can consider as like like in quality center front you will come across one concept like BPT, business process testing. I will explain it later. So business process testing is nothing but like domain expert will be there. So domain expert, what he will do is he will be good in domain application knowledge. Automation engineer will be there. So automation engineer will be pretty good in automation. So he will come up with framework. Automation engineer come up with framework, and that framework give it to domain expert. So domain expert will be using for executing your automation frame for testing your application. Simply I have to say means. Okay. So this kind of framework you can come up with. So one framework that can handle multiple projects. Okay, so you're coming up with means that kind of framework you can consider as like manageable. Okay, BPT kind of framework. Okay, but is it really possible in this kind of situation like Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Read Email, Hotmail? No, here it may not comfortable, may not compatible. Why? So Gmail might be used some .NET, Java might be used HTML or something like that, right? So different applications, different technologies they could have used. So that is the problem. Okay, but which kind of situations you can come up with, and people really were using this kind of frameworks? Yes, people really using this kinds of frameworks these days. Okay. And meanwhile, which kind of applications you can come up with this kind of frameworks? If you go for like telecom applications you have to go for means mostly they'll be using like CBEL. Okay, CBEL application. What is CBEL? This is CRM application, you can consider it as CRM. Okay, CRM applications are nothing but like customer relationship management applications. So CBEL, SAP, Oracle apps, these 3 comes under CRM. So any other company they have to grow their business means they have to maintain good relationship with their customers, right? So their CRM applications comes into picture. Okay, CRM also, CBL also one CRM application. So mostly telecom applications like Vodafone, Airtel, AT&T, Verizon. So like these kinds of applications, they can go for like CBL application. Okay. So CBL is not like project, that is product. Okay. So CBL originally developed by CBL company, later taken over by Oracle. Now CBL is from Oracle. So which are the companies they want to use CBL? What they will use, they will purchase license from Oracle. Okay, and they will be using almost all features, same features whatever you are coming up with like CBL. Like 80% of the features they'll be using same features. 20% they can customize according to their requirements. Okay, according to their requirements they can customize. Okay, so take Mahindra, if you take most of the price they were having like CBL applications only. At that point of time technology not at all getting very right, so you can come up with like very easily like manageable kind of framework. Okay, so people really implementing these days, coming up with this kind of frameworks. Okay, if you remember like 3 or 4 years back itself, automation was not really meeting that much expectations, but these days automation is really meeting up to some extent. Even these days also it's not like 100%, but up to some extent like 50% or 60% is meeting your automation expectations. Okay, so this is nothing but like manageable. As of now you can remember like one automation framework you can come up with that can handle how many projects you want. Okay, so really automation management means this is the kind of stuff you can come up with. And another way how you can explain is like once you come up with your automation framework, you will be able to execute that framework under in multiple environments and multiple releases. One application is there means there may be so many releases, so many environments, right? Like SIT, MIT, or in other words also you can consider like development environment, production environment, manual testing environment, automation testing environment, functional testing environment, performance testing environment, like this. So whenever developer is making new release, so that one needs to be executed in all of these environments. In all of these environments you have to perform your testing. So your automation, once you come up with framework, it will automatically get initialize your automation framework execution, automation execution, and it will try to install in all of these environments. And one release means there may be so many releases you'll be coming up with, right? Again, so there are major release and minor release, yes, it are MIT are like 100, 200, 300, 400, something like that. So many releases will be coming up with. In all of these releases your automation needs to be executed. Okay, so that is also one kind of maintainability, means very simple, means this is the kind of stuff. It's really manageable, means one framework multiple projects can handle. Okay, so this is nothing but like manageable. Today what are the features you are having, accordingly you come up with your framework. But IT industry is not at all stable, right? Not at all constant. Okay, so maybe so many enhancements are so many changes will be coming up with. Okay, so many enhancements you may be coming up with. Okay, so at that time you have to come up with your framework in such a manner like your automation framework also should be optimizable in such a manner. In future which kind of features, which kind of enhancements you come up with, you may not no. So while developing framework you have to keep in mind like you have to come up with in such a manner, so in future what are the things, what are the enhancements, what are the change requests are coming up with, your automation also in such a manner should be optimizable. Okay, should be customizable in such a manner. So you keep in mind while developing framework and come up with. Okay, so this is nothing but like optimizable. This is nothing but optimizable. Okay, then which are the disadvantages of like manual testing, like object properties is a little bit difficult to validate, right? So object properties, then easy to validate images or bitmaps, performance testing, load testing and stress testing you can perform very easily. Then volume testing also you can perform very easily. Okay, So these are the advantages of your automation testing. Okay, so unattended execution, night execution, fast, reliable, repeatable, programmable, manageable, optimizable. Okay, so these are the different steps. Okay, so this is nothing but like automation advantages. Then we can go for like disadvantages of automation. Before going disadvantage of automation, any questions anybody? I have unmuted. You have any questions means you can ask me. No questions? First disadvantage is like very expensive. Before going that one, like one concept will come across like license. Okay, there are two types of licenses: concurrent license and seat license. Okay, concurrent license and seat license. Concurrent license is nothing but like you are working for specific type, means like automation teams, how they will frame is like five members or 6 members, like that. Okay, so they will try to purchase 5 licenses and they will try to use. So this is nothing but like concurrent license. Okay, so this is nothing but like concurrent license. So also you can consider it as like floating license. Floating. Okay, and seat license or permanent license. The cost of seat license or permanent license is nothing but like it will be in crores. The cost will be in crores. Okay, but concurrent license, if you go for like it will for license, it will cost like 5 to 10 lakhs. Okay, 5 to 10 lakhs. Okay, so here I am saying like very expensive. Is automation really expensive? That's what I am trying to say. So 5 lakhs you are spending for your QTP license, and one automation tool can perform 10 human resources job, right? Or even more. Okay, okay, so 10 resources company have to manage. On an average, how much salary per head they have to pay? If you talk like Indian rupees, around 5 lakhs. They should pay around 5 lakhs or 7 lakhs also. Let us suppose like 7 lakhs. So 10 into 7 Indian rupees I am talking about. Okay, so 10 into 7 means 70 lakhs. Again, for those 10 resources, they have to provide like computers, so many other resources also. So that means if you think like that, it's costing like more than crore or more than even. But automation, if you go for like one license 5 lakhs you are spending. So let us suppose for automation engineer 10 lakhs they are paying. That means 20 lakhs let us also. So 20 lakhs if you spend for automation, you are achieving your expectation. You are coming up with very good coverage. But manual testing means there are 1 crore you are spending. If you think like that, automation, is it really expensive? No, right? But how, why I am saying like here is very expensive? Like if it is simple application like supermarket management system or hotel management system, if you take like these kinds of simple application, so for developing this application how much time it will take? 4 or 5 months. So 4 or 5 months means how many releases you can come up with? 1 or 2 releases. So if this is the case, you want to go for automation means you want to purchase license and you have to go for automation means it will be very expensive. Okay, but if you take like very big applications, like some price were going on like 5 years or 6 years, if you take that kind of projects, automation is not at all expensive, it's very cheap. Okay, that is what you have to remember. Okay, so automation is very expensive, it depends, star you can put. Okay, it's very expensive, so it's not like for all of the applications. If it is very simple applications means it's expensive. And one more important point is like cannot automate 100% of the application. Can you tell me one scenario you cannot automate this kind of functionality? Gaming applications, games, really you cannot automate. Like the applications which manual intervention require, those kinds of applications you cannot go for automation, like games applications. Okay, so for these applications you cannot go for automation. Except this, do you come up with like any another applications? No, right? But why I'm saying like here cannot automate 100% of the application? You have to come up with like automation means is not that much easy. Okay, so per day how many test cases you can automate? You know, just 1 or 2 test cases. If it depends is the best answer, but how many test cases you can automate is like 1 or 2 or 3. If it is simple test cases means like successful login, 5 test cases you can automate. Okay, complex test cases means only 1 test case. Okay, so why means automation development is not that much easy. So while coming up with your scripting, it needs to be executed in multiple environments, and you have to make sure each and everything, and it should get executed multiple environments and multiple releases. Okay, then only you'll move it to regression automation should. So you have to make sure each and everything, and you have to come up with your automation means it will be very hard. Okay, so by that time you are getting change requests. Per day 2 test cases you are able to automate means 10,000 test cases you have to automate means how much time it will take? How many resources required? Meanwhile, you develop some automated scripts. These days most of the applications doesn't have stable functionality, right? So you automated some test cases. By the time change request comes up from client, then again what you have to do? You have to reinvest your efforts for updating the existing test scripts. So here you are putting your efforts for coming up with creating the test cases and updating the existing test cases, where you are really utilizing those test cases for execution. So by considering these factors, it's not advisable to go for 100% automation. Okay, so if it is project, you can pick up major modules, major functionality related test cases and stable functionality related test cases, and you will go for automation. If it is product, you don't get more frequent change requests, right? So you can go for 100% automation. Okay, so you want to automate 100% of the application, you can automate, but by considering side factors like automation development is too much time consuming, and it will be like automation applications not at all stable. By considering these kind of other points, it's not advisable to go for 100% automation. Okay, so that's why here I mentioned like cannot go for 100% automation. If you want to automate, you can automate 100% of the application. Some projects they were automated 100% of the application. Okay, really I have worked for 2 projects for that kind of projects. Okay, no manual testing itself. Okay, pure automation. Okay, time consuming, manual testing also time consuming, right? But here in disadvantage of automation, here also I'm saying like time consuming. It's one time effort. For converting manual test cases to automation, it will take too much time. It will be too much time consuming. Meanwhile, more resources also required. Once you develop your automation framework, once you automate your manual test cases, then execution will be very fast, right? So you don't touch manual. Each and everything your automation framework will be taking care. So one time effort I can say. Okay, so execution will be very fast, but converting manual test case to automation, it will be time consuming. Automation management is not that much easy. Okay, so until and unless you are technically strong, then you cannot manage your automation that much easily. Okay, so any of the applications these days, most of the applications you'll be coming up with like change requests, right? Dynamic features. Okay, so at that time you may get a chance to work with those maintenance portion in your project. Okay, if you are technically strong, then only your job will be little bit easy. Otherwise it may be little bit difficult. Okay, it's not like that much difficult. If you go in systematic way, if you learn each and everything, it's very easy. Automation will be very interesting. Okay, so these all are the disadvantages of your automation testing. Okay, so very expensive, it depends. Cannot go for 100% automation, it's again depends. Okay, it's time consuming, that is one time effort for automation converting. Management and technically strong people required. What are the factors to be considered to go for automation? So you are going for automation means which are the different factors you have to consider. How much big is your application? So if it is very simple application like 3 or 4 months application, it's not advisable to go for automation. Okay, so that is nothing but like how much big is your, okay, so how much stable is your functionality. Okay, your application is very big application, is going for 5 years or 6 years, but all features are getting changing frequently. If that is the case, what you will do? Then that point of time you can go for like, it's not advisable to go for automation. Okay, so at least some modules having stable functionality, then you can go for your automation. Okay, so before going automation, these are the two major factors you will consider, then only you will decide whether you want to go for automation or not. Okay, along with these two factors, disadvantages I explained, right? Unknown execution, fast, reliable, repeatable program, all those factors also you will consider to go for automation. Okay, so this is nothing but like what are the advantages of what are the disadvantages of manual testing, what are the advantages of manual testing, sorry, automation testing, what are the disadvantages of automation testing. So what are the factors to be considered to go for automation? These are the different things you remember we were discussing. Okay, any questions? It's your time. Okay, I have unmuted. You have any questions means you can ask. Okay, no questions? Okay, then perfect. Tomorrow as usual we can make it like 5:30. Okay, so yeah, Padma, the thing is if we postpone it will be like it will get delay our course. So what I do is anyway I'm recording the session, right? I will share you the recorded session, you go to the recorded session. Okay, and if you have any questions we will definitely look it up. Is that fine? It's not a problem for me to postpone. Okay, but the thing is time will get postponed, that's the problem. Okay, tomorrow I'll be discussing like different types of automation tools, and I'll be starting like QTP basics. But that is important, yeah, that is important. uh, yeah, yes sir, yeah, tell me. Yeah, fine, we'll do that one. Yeah, fine, that one we can carry on. Okay, okay, that's fine. And meanwhile one more thing is like automation initially will move little bit slow. Okay, so you have to understand means it will take some time, automation is not that much easy. Okay, so you have to understand whatever we are discussing you should go through, right? You should understand. So initially we'll move little bit slow, then we'll make it fast. Okay, exactly. Or what we do is hmm, QC we can finish. Yeah, no issues. First we go for QTP, then one. Meanwhile, if we finish quality center, the thing is on manual testing front, you can prepare your resume and you can attend interviews. Okay. So what we do is we'll try to finish quality center, then we can go for QTP. Okay, so okay, yeah, I'll be touching load runner. Yeah, I'll be touching. Okay, we'll be discussing load runner. Okay, we'll be discussing. Yeah, you can install, no issues. Okay, we can install. Any more questions? Okay, then tomorrow instead of 5:30 we'll make it just installation, right? 6:30 we'll make it party. Okay, is that fine? Okay, it don't take that much time. Okay, 6:30 we'll make it. Okay, okay, so then fine. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for your time. See you. Fine. Bye bye. Bye.